growing up was always like feeling like the third party, like wherever you go, because like those are like siblings, and you're just like. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Unpack with Nay. In today's episode, I have Marycolette, a YouTuber, an actor, a TV presenter, an all-round media girl in the building, and we'll be discussing adult friendships and the intricacies of building a healthy friendship before a relationship. I hope you enjoy watching this video, and if you do not forget to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and share. So let's unpack. Hi, MC. Hi, Nay. Or should I say Angel, Nay? Which one do you
prefer?
I mean, I know you as Angel. For consistency. Let's say Nay.
So good to have you here.
I'm so happy to be here.
I'm excited to have this conversation with you because we have like a very interesting story of our friendship. Yeah. Do you think?
I do.
Do you remember?
I actually do.
You can tell.
You're actually comfortable with me telling this.
You can leave like
the names.
Yeah, just leave little details. Start and I'll join you.
Okay, so how did I become friends with Angel? Interestingly, I thought Angel was a very fine girl. Ooh. We started following each other on Instagram. Yeah. Never met you, never spoke to you. I just really liked your page. So I started following you, and then we'll compliment each other back and forth. Like, oh, nice picture. Oh, you look nice. You look cute. You know, those things girls do. Yeah. And then I think he now found out that I was a mutual friend with
somebody that I wanted a tea on.
Okay, someone you wanted tea on, exactly. And then you just, asked for my number in my DMs one day, and I was very, surprised. Yeah. And then when you called me and told me why you wanted my number, I was just like, oh my God. I was just like, do you want the full tea? Because I remember the question I asked you when you asked me.
I can't remember, to be fair.
Okay, so when you asked me for the details on this person, I remember, I knew what was going on.
Yeah.
But me telling you the full story was very dependent on your reaction.
Yes.
Do you remember I asked you?
Yes,
if I tell you this thing, would you do this? Yeah. And then you were like, I'm not very sure. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to tell you. Because if you're not sure, I didn't want to be the bad guy. Yeah. Does it feel weird that we're not telling the full story?
It doesn't feel weird, but just to chip in, I feel like I was at a very low point in my life, and because I had gotten warm energy from you, I'm just like, let me just be honest and ask and just tell you this is what's happening and see how you reacted. And she was so lovely, she was so sweet. I think it was what, 4-5 years ago?
It was.
And it was just, I feel like it birthed a very nice and genuine friendship.
I mean, just looking at it here now, I can understand why you were where you were at the time, because you had invested time and energy into this person. So there was no way you're just going to snap your finger and say, bye. Yeah. So I can understand now, but I'm very grateful that we had that conversation and for that call. Because after that call,
it was social media friendship.
Yeah. I think that was the point where we graduated from hellos and highs to, hey girl.
What kind of friend would you say you are right now? To your friends, people that know you, close circle. What kind of friend would they say that you are?
I think with people who are close to me, I feel like I'm the friend that is there when you need them. I'm not, from when I was younger, I've not always been a hands-on person in terms of friendships. I'm not the kind of person who will call you and say, I want to come to your house today. For context, I'm an only child. So I grew up very independent, very into myself. Yeah. So I'm not really the kind of person who I'll wake up and I miss this person. I want to go to their house and chill. No, I haven't really been that kind of person, but I am the kind of friend who, if you ever need anything, you cannot, I would always, I would drop anything.
Do you think that, being an only child affected, your ability to make friends growing up?
Oh, definitely. 100%.
You're so introverted.
Yes, definitely. I feel like people who have siblings, you guys are actually lucky in a sense, because
you're friends.
Yeah, you actually get to you deal with people inside.
Yeah, fair enough.
Before you, so you kind of have a clue how to deal with people. Yeah. But with me, I grew up with my mom. Do you understand? So that's an adult already. So my mom was very strict. So when I would go out and meet people and just kids be kids, sometimes it'll be a lot for me because I'm I could never get away with doing that. My mother is going to kill me if I do that. Or just seeing kids do stuff, like I always felt kind of like the odd one out, and I feel like that obviously translated to like my adult friendships as well.
What's like your earliest memory of like having like a best friend, like, or someone that you called like friend growing up, since you're an only child? So I assume that like it was just you at home. So like, what was the first encounter with like a real person and bringing them into your space? Like, oh, this is my friend.
I feel like being an only child makes you like, you have a lot of cousins.
Okay. Oh, okay,
so I used to hang out with my cousins a lot. Like I would go to my cousin. I mean, they were very temporary because you go visit and then you come back home.
Can't relate.
You never did that.
So you know how like growing up you didn't have like siblings to like be friends with.
Yeah.
It's always been, I feel like that's also like shaped our relationship because it's always just been my siblings and I. So how you have cousins and all of that.
You didn't really have that.
I can't, maybe that's just, when you go to the village.
Yeah.
Like Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then like everyone now like separates for New Year's.
I mean, I feel like you should consider yourself lucky in a way.
Why?
because like those are your siblings.
Yeah,
and
fair.
you are very sure in a way. I mean, it depends. I've had siblings who don't really like each other.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, I can tell you guys really care about each other. And that's good for you. And like, these are permanent people in your lives.
Yeah.
In your life, I mean. For me, it was very temporary. Like, I would go visit my cousin for like 2-3 hours and come back home and all of that. So, but my mom obviously felt like as a growing child, I needed company, like people to play with. So we'd always have that, okay, let's go see your cousins, or let's go to your auntie's house, let's go to your uncle's house. I hated that growing up. Like going to spend holidays with aunties. Like I enjoyed playing with my cousins, but the auntie uncle part, not so much.
But did you feel like different? Did you feel like the other kids that had like friendship groups and stuff? Did you feel like different from them?
Of course. I mean, you have siblings.
Yeah.
So there is no way, even as a friend, as a cousin, if I come into your house, I would still be the third party. No matter how close I am to you, I would still be the third party. So growing up was always like feeling like the third party, like wherever you go, because like those are like siblings, and you're just like
So how have your friendships evolved over the years? Because like going from being an only child, feeling very like introverted, feeling very alone, it's like I feel like. Oh, I forgot to add that she's YouTube's sweetheart.
Yeah.
So it's like so interesting now, just coming into yourself and like having like a whole community of people who love you. But independent of that, it's like just still having, because now you seemingly have like a close group of friends.
Yeah.
So like just tell me about how like that's like friendship and trajectory has evolved over the years.
Oh, I could go on like the whole day about this topic because it's so broad.
Feel free.
I feel like even just as
caution.
as girls in general, like I feel like you can relate, like just having a hard time with who to trust. To bring into your space.
Have you ever had like a friendship breakup?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. How is
Countless.
That? Really?
I feel like
one.
I've had a friendship breakup over a man.
Wow.
I've had a friendship,
Can we get into that?
Yeah, okay. So one breakup that we had, like I had this really close friend in uni. Like she was my closest friend. And we had a mutual male friend.
Okay.
Right? Obviously she and the male friend I was friends with the male friend first, right? Then she came in later. I embraced her as a friend, obviously, because, she's my friend's friend. And then towards the end of like my time in uni, they started hooking up, right? Didn't know about that. Very oblivious, but we were all still friends, But then towards the end, I started to notice like her energy where like she would always take the guy's side. That's the person she's hooking up with now. She'll always like, so to the point where I started feeling like,
but she only friend first.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I started to feel like she only took me on as a friend
because of him,
because of the guy, So, I don't want to go into details, but it just there were situations where she just made her loyalty known that my loyalty is to the guy that I'm hooking up with.
So
you were just an extra. I mean, obviously.
I'm thinking about it now. She wasn't really your friend.
Yeah, she wasn't.
She wasn't really your friend.
That's my bad because I thought that's the thing. Now, just moving forward, I feel like that has made me more careful with people that I call friends.
Exactly.
We do that thing.
Exactly.
We do that thing where we just say, oh, my friend.
Exaggerate people's importance in your life.
Exactly.
Hearing your story, I'm like, now
she
as an
wasn't.
adult,
Yes.
now as an adult, I'm looking, I'm just like, this person wasn't your friend. You shouldn't have been this.
She wasn't my friend.
She was your friend's partner.
I took it too. I took it too seriously. Like, oh yeah, she's my friend, but she wasn't, and she made it known in the end. Like, girl.
So how do you, like, now that you have, like, you're more aware, more conscious of like, you know, you've been through years of experience, like friendships and stuff, like how are you able to compartmentalize your friendships? Like, oh, you know, this one is your girl. You're such a girl's girl.
I am actually.
So, my girl. So, like, how have you been able to, like, just create that, like, tight knit of friends, have the ones that you think are acquaintances, you're planning a wedding now, so I feel like you're doing, like, bridesmaids list. So how have you been able to just, like, compartmentalize each and every one of your friends?
Well, the good thing about being like an ambivert, because I can't say I'm an introvert, but I feel like I'm in between.
I'm in between.
I observe a lot. So like, you know, people often mistake it as me being snobbish, quiet, whatever. But the truth is, that's just how I've always been. Like, I tend to observe a lot. So I have done that with my friendships as well, where like, I know my friends even to the point where like I'll tell you things about yourself that you won't even believe that I know just from observing you. So I already know like, I already know who this person is and who that person, I already know who like I can be vulnerable with and would understand, who would not take it as seriously as I would want them to. So I feel like being observant has helped me a lot in like knowing who is who, because everybody can't be the same. At the end of the day, like everybody can't be friends with you the same way. So some people are, you know, just more. Some people are softer than other people. Some people have had better life experiences, and you can't just expect the same thing from everybody. So from observing, I've been able to know who is who.
Do you think that people can survive without like friendships?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Why? Everybody needs somebody.
Well,
like you can't do like. I had my cousin. I mean, I was an only child.
Family members, not like friends.
I didn't grow up alone. I mean, my dad wasn't with like us the whole time, but he was there. There. My mom was a constant in my life every single day. I don't think I would be who I am right now and ever without my mom. You know, I had my cousins. You know. We were close in the beginning, but as time went on, you know, life. But I had them, I had school, I had different people from time to time. So I don't think anybody can really like do life without, maybe not necessarily friends, but other people. Do you believe in cutting people off? Like when you have a misunderstanding with your friends, will you like communicate with them and tell them? Because I personally, I'm very. Do you cut people off?
Do I cut people? I don't think I cut people off, but I think that I can be very, what's the word?
Brash.
No, I don't know how to describe it. Help me.
Dismissive.
I hold things, I bottle things up a lot.
Oh, okay.
So then it just like
explodes.
I get what you mean. I'm not a very confrontational person. And I'm learning. Like, I've never had like a huge fight with any of my best friends or like my closest friends. Maybe because I haven't been able to just, when something is happening, like when you feel a pinch, like my friend says, like as opposed to just saying it, this thing that you did made me feel some type of way. I wouldn't say it. I would bottle it up. So that's one thing that I feel like I need to learn to do better. So like how do you manage situations like that? Do you just cut them off straight up or you have a conversation with them?
I mean, that used to be me when I was younger. Like I would cut people off immediately. Like I used to have this, or I had this mantra where I would say, if people show you who they are, believe them. Like, don't give second, like they already told you who they are, so don't give second chances. So, you know, I'll do that thing where the moment someone does something to me, like the end.
That's the end.
But I've also been in situations where I have done things to people, and you know, I've been like very apologetic. You know, like I've done things to people where like, in the heat of the moment, alcohol, like just different things. And I'll be very apologetic because I know that I didn't mean it. And then I would be hoping that, you know, we can go back to the way we were. Just so I feel like now I'm more, but now I feel like I'm just more, I extend grace more now. The same grace I expect people to
So, like, do you think that you have, like, expectations of people? Like, if your friend, take, for example, you're doing something, and I feel like we have these things where we kind of, like, expect our friends to read our minds.
Yeah.
Like, support looks different to different people. Like, even with this show now, I feel like I don't have expectations of people. Yeah. Right? But, like, when you start something very, like, something dear to you.
Yeah. Expect people
watching,
to, yeah.
You know, so, like, do you have expectations with your friends?
Yeah.
Because me, I don't think that I do, but I feel like maybe low-key.
You do.
Yes, what are some, like, expectations that you have?
It's natural. I mean, but with me personally, I feel like I'm very much like you in the sense that things, like, get to me a lot, like, a lot more than the average person.
Yeah,
like,
feel
like, I feel it deeply. So I feel like I've learned to detach myself in a way so that things don't affect me as much. So, like, I don't go into things with, like, expectations. So that even if you say no, it won't pain me like that. Because the moment that I put my mind to it and it doesn't happen that way, bro, I can start bawling. Like, I can start like, you'd ask me what is making me sad, and I'll tell you, and you'd be like, is it this small thing that's making me? But it's actually so upsetting because I put my mind to it. I actually depend. I mean, I remember, like, my last birthday. I had already, like, my fiance, my boyfriend at the time, had told me, oh, don't worry, we're gonna do a birthday getaway, blah 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 blah. A day to the birthday party, he was telling me, oh, I don't think it can happen anymore, bro. I already did my hair, I bought my outfit, like, I was ready. Bro, start crying. Yeah, like, you think if someone asked me
that was the day before the proposal.
That was a day. No.
Okay,
my last birthday. Okay. So if someone had asked me, like, why are you so upset? Is it because like it's so trivial?
Yeah.
But because mentally tomorrow I was at the location. Like, the next day mentally I already knew what I was wearing. I already knew everything. For you to not tell me it wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, so I really, really hate is a strong word. Like, I don't like putting pressure on people. Like, it's just something that I personally just had to, it's like a coping mechanism for me, not to put too much expectations.
I want to talk about ELO.
Okay.
Are you blushing? It's like, she's like, how do you go from friendship to ELO?
Do you want to tell people who ELO is in case?
Is her fiance.
Yes.
Right? Or husband, or how, like, what would you say? Boyfriend,
fiance. We're not married yet, so yeah, fiance. Fiance for now. Yeah. Stop what? I should be the one blushing, not you.
I think of how cute you guys are. Anyway, I want to talk about him in relation to just being friends with your partner. I feel like in relationships, right, people don't focus on the friendship part of it.
Yeah.
Like, you just think that you're going to meet somebody, you're going to fall in love.
Immediately.
So walk me through, like, how you guys met. I know you met through a friend. It was Moni.
Yeah, it was Moni. Yeah.
You guys met through a friend, and, like, just...
You've done your research. I love it. I love it. Okay.
You know, so you guys met through a friend, and you kind of, like, just evolved to being friends. You know, and then, like, the whole proposal in Abuja. Like, sorry, that's even being a girlfriend proposal, not the actual proposal.
Yeah.
Like, this man asked you to be, oh, you be my girlfriend. I feel like that's so
rare these days. Even.
That's so rare, because everyone is just like, oh, if you start talking to somebody after 6 months or after 6 weeks,
just as you.
After 2 weeks, you'll say you're my boyfriend. Yeah. My girlfriend, but like, he's been very intentional, I believe, like, with your relationship, and you guys call yourself best friends.
Yeah.
So just tell us, you know, how that has evolved and what made you feel like this person is my friend, this person has my best interest at heart, this person, I want to do life with the person, essentially. So yeah, just walk me through that.
Honestly, with me and ELO, we met at a time where we both weren't even looking for anything. Like, we had both just gotten out of relationships. So I personally told myself, like, I was about to be a city girl. Like, bro, I feel like I literally told myself, like, okay, I think I'm about to have my whole phase. Because I feel like I've been in a relationship for such a long time, and I just wanted to wild out, you know. So when we first met, it was very much friendship centered. Like, we were very much focused on our friendship. Like, I just wanted to be friends. Honestly, I just wanted to be friends. It was just along the way, like, while we were friends, I think we were friends for like almost 4 months. And then it was just along, like, while we were just being friends and doing what friends do.
What do friends do?
Just chill, hang out, enjoy each other's, I promise you, enjoy each other's company. That's what, like, we were very much invested in, like, getting to know each other on a friendship level, because I had made it clear that, you know, I wasn't really looking to do anything, and so was he. So we just focused on being friends, and then along the way, we, you know.
Do you think that if you didn't like do the 4 months of groundwork of friendship, like you guys wouldn't have been as
tight as we are now?
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I agree. I think we wouldn't even be anywhere close to like how we are now if we didn't get to know each other because I feel like knowing each other as friends is very different from knowing each other as girlfriend and boyfriend.
Exactly.
Yeah, like it's very different. Like as friends, it wasn't like there were no expectations like, oh, I'm getting to know you because I want this XYZ from you.
Thank you.
I was just getting to know him as a human being, like as another person. Do you understand? So why? As another person. So I feel like a lot of times when certain things would happen or he would behave in a way that is out of character, I can point it out because I feel like I know him.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So I'll be like, I know you and this is not you. Like I can easily just draw him back and be like, you know, I feel like you're going through a phase or something is wrong, you know, because I feel like that's my friend and I know my friend. I know when my friend is, you know,
feeling some type of way.
Feeling some type of way. And I feel like vice versa as well. Like when I'm not myself, he knows me. You know, it's not just a thing where like, oh, my girlfriend is supposed to do this or my girlfriend is supposed to do that. No, it's like this other human being.
So he puts you first, like in that regard, like, oh, this is not my girlfriend. This is not like my wife.
Yes,
Sorry. Yes. You guys are married.
In my opinion, those are just those are just titles. Like, we just enjoy, like, who am I stammering? Oh, like, wow, because of man. But yeah, like, honestly, like, we just really enjoy spending time with each other. Like, it's not a thing where most people who know us call us twins because, like, when he has events, I'm there. You know, when I'm doing stuff, he's there.
So
like,
my heart can't handle this.
Yeah, it's just...
My single heart can't handle this.
Okay, let me just stop
No, please, go on.
Yeah,
go on.
but like so I feel like we've definitely evolved from like being friends to being boyfriend and girlfriend to being where we are.
Do you think your friends were like jealous? Not jealous, but like, you know when a guy comes into the picture and then like you don't have time for you. I'm guilty of it.
Yeah,
I feel like, okay, in the past, I feel like I might have changed.
Yeah.
Now, but like when you meet a guy for the first time and like you just want to talk to him and then you kind of like not put your friends to the back seat.
I know exactly what you mean.
Did that ever happen? Did your friends feel like you're taking our friend away from us?
It definitely did. Yeah. It definitely did. Because when we first started dating, I used to live with like two of my friends, Moni and Falake, and we used to do everything together. You see the way me and Ilo, right now that was the way me, Falake, and Moni were. Like we were very tight-knit. We did everything together. So I remember when he first came into the picture, I would spend time with him a lot. I was rarely ever at home. I was always at his house.
Can you imagine?
And then like Moni used to do something at W Bar at the time called Drunch. That was before W Bar became what it is. It was very much a brunch place. Like it wasn't really a club, you know.
I've never been like 3 years.
Really? Yeah. When W Bar first came out, it was like a brunch spot. It was not this
thing
what it is now. Yeah. So she used to do a thing called Drunch at the time. And one thing about our friendship is if one person is doing something, everybody goes, everybody has to show support. So I remember the first Drunch, you know, I didn't go. I was with man, you know, just didn't even tell them I wasn't gonna be able to make it.
I would have broken it. Bro, I did not tell them. I get upset. I can actually cut you off for that.
I remember coming back home from this man's house and it was so cold. Like you could feel the air.
Can you tell me, like, what was your thought process? Like, why was that something that you could do to a friend? You didn't show up for your friend's thing because of man.
I feel like every woman watching right now and in this room can understand the honeymoon phase. Like when you first meet somebody, like you're in a bubble. Like you would drop anything.
Let me speak.
I feel like it was very much a thing where like I knew that I had somewhere to be, but I was very much enjoying the company. Like I was enjoying where I was and I didn't want to leave. So I just said to myself like, it's fine because like then it was like an every Sunday thing. So I just said to myself like, yeah, I'll go next Sunday. It's fine. She'll understand.
What if next Sunday didn't come?
I could tell that she was really upset. Yeah. So that.
How long was she upset at you for?
I mean, we live together. She couldn't be upset for that long.
Me, I would be upset too. I feel like I know I said I don't have expectations, but this one was just like, even the man would have been there the next day.
Do you understand? I could have got, do you understand?
Okay, so now looking back, now after like what, 2-3 years of experience, being in love, being in a relationship, being engaged and everything, like, would you do that to your friend?
Absolutely not. Why? Absolutely not.
What have you learned in that regard? Like, would you, like, what's different now?
First of all, I feel like what I'm talking about now happened like 3-4 years ago. So I've definitely grown more now.
Yeah.
You know, my friends can even attest to the fact that, because they always try to put me in a box of, oh, you know, you have a man now. Like, I always double down, like, please invite me. Like, don't ever assume that because I have a man, I don't want to do stuff with my girls. Like, never.
Because you guys do a lot of girls night
together. Like, you know, sometimes they'll do stuff without me and I'll see it on Instagram and I'll be so mad. Like, why didn't you guys call me? And they're like, you know, you have a man. And I'm like, no, don't do that. And I feel like a bit of that was because of how I was in the beginning, because I was very like, when we first, you guys think me and Ilo are like tight now. Like when we first met, we were freaking, it was a lot. Yeah. So I can understand why they felt like, MC would not come. Yeah. Do you understand?
So now, listen to you speak. I'm just like, how were you able to like evolve from that gumbody, I don't know, that attachment and like just be your own individual? Like, how have you maintained your individuality so far? Like being in a very serious relationship. You guys have lived together for 2 years now. Like, how are you still able to be MC and he's still able to be Ilo
himself, right? I feel like, honestly, based on like the kind, like my background and where I'm coming from, like being an only child and everything, like I said in the beginning, when I first met him, he was very much like, finally my person, you know, finally, like, do you understand? So it was very much like when you give someone who didn't have something for the first time, it's like, my precious, you know, that kind of thing. It's like, so I think there's something, I came across it on TikTok, call it anxious attachment or something.
So
have you ever heard of it?
So that
so I very much felt like if I leave, I don't want to lose this thing. If I leave for like 1 second, I probably won't have it again type thing. Do you understand? Like, let me enjoy. And I also had this thing where I always felt like, you know, so this thing is too good to be true. It's probably going to end soon. Let me enjoy it while I can. Like, do you ever have that phase, like, where you're like, you know, especially with relationships, you know, you're like, you know, everything is going very well now. Let me enjoy it before it ends.
I've never felt like that in relationships.
You know, I definitely felt like that in the beginning. So I was very attached. Style is
something that I also just recently discovered. Have you done like your research?
I've done that.
When I did find out about it a couple months ago, it made sense. Yeah. Like, because I'm also like that, but like for different reasons. Like, you just panicked that, this person
is going to,
or they'll find something.
As time has gone on, he has proved himself in many ways that, you know, he's not going anywhere, first of all. Like, he's always going to be there. He's my best friend. So, like, I can go out and do whatever I want, and, like, he can go and do what, like, obviously not whatever I want, but, you know.
I was going to say, like, whatever.
You know, I can just go out, like, be with my friends, have fun and all that, and come back, and we're right back to where we, like, left off.
How do you guys, like, resolve conflicts? Did I already ask that? I don't think so now. How do you resolve conflict?
How do you resolve conflict? Honestly,
because you seem very like you're outspoken, but I feel like you're also such a lover girl.
Yeah, I am very much so.
So how do you guys?
Honestly, through communication, I feel like it might be the most cliche thing, but it helps. It helps to say what you're feeling and how you're feeling. Like, I used to be like you in the sense of like I bottle things up and explode, but growing up, I've just had to I don't know. Growing up is I feel like growing up
interesting.
Exactly, it's actually such an interesting process.
It's like your last year, you're 20.
Do you understand? Growing up is so it's like there's really no point bottling things up and then exploding at the tiniest thing. Yeah. So now I just like as soon as you do something that upset me, I'm letting you know, even if it upset you. Like I'm gonna. Yeah. But the only thing is, I obviously have learned to communicate with love. In the beginning, I used to be very. Me, I'm going to tell you how I feel. I don't care how you feel. You know, that kind of thing. Like me, I'll tell you my mind type thing.
I like that.
But sometimes it's not even what you're saying. It's how you're saying it.
It's how you're saying it. Thank you.
Yeah, so that has caused a lot of conflict with us. Like, why you shouting? Is that why you're not shouting at me? Or, you know, that kind of, you know, we're human beings and we have egos. So if I'm doing something wrong, if you yell it to me, I'm going to take offense. There's no way.
Thank you.
So I feel like now I'm definitely like, calmer in how I express myself. Sometimes I don't immediately talk, because if I talk, I think I've shared a story on my YouTube channel of how like he almost got into, not even almost, we got into an accident.
Sorry,
in that moment I wanted to
say something.
Scream,
I remember, what's that?
Because I was telling him on Third Mainland Bridge, babe, slow down, so you're going to cause I was telling him, slow down. Then this guy stopped on the bridge and he collided with this guy, and I wanted to shout like, I told you to slow down, you never listen.
But you just had to.
And I just remember telling myself, if I start yelling, it's only going to make matters worse.
I love that.
So I remember it was hard though. It was very hard because I wanted to yell, but that wasn't going to solve anything.
Yeah. So I'm okay. So this might be my final question. Okay. But what are some like healthy boundaries that you set with your friendships? You know, that's just like helped you guys maintain like a very nice
back to friendship.
Yeah, like a very nice like friendship bubble.
In a friendship bubble, nice boundaries.
But you have a group of friends.
Yes, I do. Yeah. I do. I mean, you are a group of friends.
No, but I mean like the
see,
circle.
I feel like we have separate circles.
Yeah,
like
no,
I have
obviously.
people I meet at work, like childhood friends, all of that. But I feel like with healthy boundaries, I don't know. I'm an overthinker, so I tend to even think for people. You know, sometimes like. Which is not very healthy sometimes, because when you assume for people,
don't assume.
It's not the best. But I don't know.
You can't think of it off the top of your head.
Off the top of my head.
But I feel like one thing that I appreciate. For you.
Oh, okay. You tell me one. You tell me one. Maybe
I can't lie to you. I feel like boundaries is something that I've been working on this year. I don't do well with it. I will let people stretch me thin.
Okay.
Like, you know, when like a friend is okay. No, actually now these days, maybe I don't voice it, but I'm more aware of it because people take from me a lot, I just give in terms like I'm always there. This is what I think one healthy thing boundary I've set, even if I don't say, oh babe, this is it, I started doing it for myself. Is when I know that I'm depleted and I cannot give, I will not give. Do you understand? Because before, if I'm feeling very low and you call me, I'm okay.
Oh,
I'm okay. Yeah. Talk to me. I'm here. I would do that, and it's taken from me. It's taken from me. You know. But these days, if I cannot give, if I cannot talk, I am not going to pick up the phone. You know, and I can go. Maybe it's good for me, maybe bad for them. Sometimes I will send a message that, hey, I'm not feeling so well. I'll call you when I can. Or I'll go the whole weekend and not communicate. And text you on Monday, hey girl, sorry I missed a lot of your calls. You know.
I feel like it's quite the opposite with me. I feel like I have quite independent friends in a way, to the point where I'm always the one even pushing sometimes, like, you know you can talk to me, right? Like, you know, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's in the way I conduct myself. People just assume that maybe MC is fine. MC is not gonna like, I don't know. Do you understand? So I always feel like I'm the one who's always like sometimes reaching out.
Because how does that make you feel?
It's not new. You know,
how does it make the fact that it's not new doesn't mean that you don't have
I feel like it's a familiar
it's a familiar feeling.
It's a familiar feeling. Like I understand, like I get it. Like,
but would you want them to come to you more? Because one of my best friends, like she doesn't open up. You know, and I feel like our very first misunderstanding, I started noticing that this is the kind of person she is. So I started withdrawing. Like I'm just like, you know, I'm not going to do
now
this.
I understand, because I feel like I'm your best friend in your situation, in that situation, because I almost never open up. Like I never tell people any, like I'm not the kind of,
if Mosquito should bite me right now, I'm calling her. No, this is what happened to me.
Not me.
I will give it all my details.
Do you know the funny thing is,
anything.
Even in a group of friends, like in a group of friends, my friends would be going off, oh, that boy or that man. I'll just be there like,
you don't tell.
I would say like, and I feel like they'll probably get that energy, like MC doesn't share, so why should I tell her anything? You know, so I just have never, like, again, like I said, I've never really been a, you know, group people
but I feel like the people that, like, the people that know you right now, like they've understood it, because with her, this was a couple years ago. Now, it's still very annoying. But I have to kind of like give her grace and remember that she doesn't mean to not tell me. And another thing, I was listening to my brother have a conversation with his best friend yesterday, planning the wedding, and he's also like this person. And he's like, when he got off the phone, then we were debriefing. I'm like, oh, I learned something from listening to your encounter with him. And that is the people that don't like to talk, right? And you know you love them and you care about them. You kind of like have to make an effort.
Yes.
You know, I think that's another thing that we don't talk about. Adult friendships require a lot of effort. You have to make an effort to kind of like reach out and say, okay, so what are you working on right now? How can I help? And don't relax and say, oh, because I'm always running to you, you too, you should run to me. So listening to him,
I definitely have a few friends that do that as well.
So listening to him, he was like, this one is, he's getting married, he's planning a wedding. You don't live here. I live here. I can help you with a lot of groundwork, but you're not reaching out to me. He's like, I'm not a mind reader. You need to let me help you.
And that's the funny thing is, when people do that for me, like I appreciate it so much because I know how difficult it is for me to open up to people because I'm just like, you know, just wary. Like I don't know. Like I'm always, like I said, I always overthink. I'm probably thinking I'm stressing you out. You have your own problems. Let me not stress you out with my own issues.
Let me also say, I was listening to a podcast about like friendships, and I don't know if it was Jay Shetty or Mel, one of them. They were talking about how it's in your head. What you're overthinking right now. You're an amazing person. People want to talk to you. They love you. The friend that you think that you are not, you are to somebody else. Like that's the crazy part. Like they love you. They want to hear from you. They want you. You just need to open up a little. Especially if you have. Because also that podcast too talks about like 4 a.m. friends. So we all have like different circles of friends. The 4 a.m. friend is the person you can call at 4 a.m. and you know, oh, they're probably up. Or even if they're not up, they'll pick up and be there for me. And they're like, if you have one 4 a.m. friend, you're good.
I mean, I agree. I agree. Even with my YouTube channel as well. Like, I used to really hate talking on my YouTube channel. Like, I always felt YouTube. I always felt like I had to perform. Do you understand? In a way, like in the beginning, like I had to always have something to do to show people so they won't be bored. Do you understand? Because nobody wants to watch me ramble on for 5 minutes straight.
But now they like your face.
But do you understand? But then one day I actually just sat down and I just talked, and I noticed a lot of like response to what I'm like. People actually want to hear what I have to say. You know, and I feel like that's one thing that I'm also very grateful for, like my YouTube channel. And that's why that's the one social platform that I'm the most free, the most open, because just seeing how people respond, I can be.
YouTube.
I really love YouTube. Like I can just be myself on there, just me and my camera, and then I see people respond. It's like, okay, you guys actually like you people want to know what I had for breakfast. That's awesome. Like thanks. Like okay.
What did you have for breakfast this morning?
What did I? Do you know I can't remember? What did I have for breakfast?
Go on. Ignore me.
So yeah, like what did I actually have for breakfast? But yeah, like yeah, I feel like with friendships, it's definitely a thing where I feel like personally I need to definitely open up more with my friends. So I don't think like there are already enough boundaries as it is. I'm the one who needs to do more.
So do you think that this conversation has inspired you to want to
open up more?
Are you just saying that?
Definitely. No. Just hearing you say that stuff about how like, you know, I'm in my head a lot. I feel like I'm definitely in my head a lot.
I'll actually send you the link. It's such an insightful podcast to listen to, and just if you're also trying to like be a better friend, because you're an amazing person. Like it also talks about how you are enough. You as Marycolette, you're okay, and you're already that good a person to somebody else. But you just need to
just let people in. It's just like. I let people in, but it's like, that's it. Like, you can come in, but not too close. Like, that's it. Do you understand? Take off your shoes. Like, don't get too comfortable, you know, that kind of thing. But I definitely need to do that more. I mean, I'm making an effort for sure. I feel like I'm definitely better than I was last year in terms of, like, my friendships.
Okay. One, final question.
Okay. I thought that was a
one big friendship lesson that you've learned so far.
On this...
Just journey of life. You know?
One big friendship lesson that I've learned is to definitely give people, just extend grace.
That's I like when people say like grace is something that like
I feel like growing up there are so many people that I cut off that in retrospect
you shouldn't have.
You think
that you can rekindle the friendship?
Oh yeah.
Have you tried?
No, that's the thing. Like that girl I told you about that, you know, I thought she was my friend. You know, immediately she showed me that I was just like, yeah, bye, like never talking to you ever again. But in hindsight, we were all young, you know, she was a little boy crazy. I mean, who hasn't been? You know, we've all been there. So, you know, I feel like it was something that we could have definitely hashed out over like a conversation. You know, so many times where people would do stuff to me, I'm like, yeah, I'm never talking to you ever again. Communication could have definitely fixed some things, especially because I have been in situations where, like I said, I have messed up.
Yeah.
So I have messed up and I mean, it's YouTube. Okay, fine. I've been in a situation where I've messed up and, you know, people have given me grace and had talks with me and I've explained myself like, oh, I'm sorry, I was just drunk. Oh, I'm sorry, like I didn't mean it that way. Like, oh, that's what you heard? No, this is what I meant. Like I didn't mean it that way, you know. So a lot of things in life can be fixed with communication. Like you would be surprised, just talking would solve a lot of things. A lot of misconceptions, misunderstandings, miscommunications, you know. It's just talk.
Okay, last. Not a question, but just an extension of what you just said. The girl that you had a falling out with, like, would you want to have a conversation with her?
Not you playing therapist.
Now imagine if, you know, she sits right here and, you know, we're having a conversation. Like, do you think, or you can't be bothered?
I mean, would I go out of my way?
If she's watching this right now.
If she's watching this, like, if you say hi to me, I'm not going to say
Have you seen her, like, since everything
No,
happened?
funny thing.
Really?
The one time I saw her after then was in church, I remember. And I remember I was a bit cold. I'm not going to lie. Like, she was just like, hey, and I was like, hi, you know? Ooh. Yeah, I remember. But if I could go back, I would definitely be warmer. Like, I'm not saying that we'll be best friends, but I don't harbor any resentment anymore.
This is one of those shows where, like, maybe in another season we're going to bring, like,
girl, bye. She's probably in another country. I don't know. Because people are jackpotting right now, so she's probably Canada or something, right? Okay. I don't know.
That's fine.
But yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having
this
so this shorts. I think it was this was long. Conversation, chit chat.
Yeah.
I feel like we couldn't even
fit everything in.
Go into like details. Thank you so much for sharing. And so for the final, it's not a question, but like just last thing. Tell me like 3 things that you're grateful for. You know we do this.
We always do this. Oh, Angel. Guys, Angel does this thing in her house where like, which I love so much. Like a girl's night thing.
We're doing the next one in like 3 weeks, I think.
Okay. So. I already have my outfit. It was a Rich Auntie vibes.
Rich Auntie vibes.
So and we always say what we're grateful for, vent and all that jazz. I always
last one.
I always rave about it on my channel. They know. People who know. Those who know. If you know, you know. It was actually fun. But what am I grateful for? Honestly, I'm grateful for life. Ultimately,
I always say don't say life,
girl. But I mean, okay. So that one doesn't count.
Out of it.
Okay.
Deep. Dig deep.
Let me dig deep. Okay, you go first.
No, it's fine. No.
So you're not grateful for anything?
Okay, well, I'm thankful. I'm grateful for this show. I'm grateful for just everyone behind the camera. I feel like when you have a vision, the people that you bring together are part of they're like the most important part of the process. So I'm very thankful for the 8 people on my team right now. They mean the world to me at the moment, and even the ones that come late. And secondly, I'm grateful for good support system. My friends are here, my brother is here, my dad is on his way, and yes,
I always wanted to meet him.
I'm very thankful for my father. And lastly, I'm grateful for good health. Last week I didn't sound. I don't know if anyone can. If
you're in your head, you can't hear shit.
Yeah. No, but last week I wasn't strong, and I don't know if I was anxious or anything. I wasn't strong. So yeah, I'm grateful for good health.
Okay. Let me just steal your answers. I'm also very grateful for family and my support system. My mom. She's been. Like I said, I would not even be here if it weren't for her. Like she's been a constant in my life throughout my life, and she's one person I know loves me unconditionally. Well, not the one person, but yeah.
Ooh, I love that. Do you have your person now?
Yeah, just grateful for my support system, my family, my fiance. I'm also grateful for God's provision as well. There's something just a satisfaction that comes from wanting to do something and actually doing it. Like when you have something in mind and God provides the means, the money, the time, even the wisdom to even know what you want to do, like this show, like I think this is amazing.
Thank you.
Just even God planting that idea in your head, like, okay, do this, and actually providing you with what you need to execute it. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm also grateful for God's direction and like where my life is headed and my career is headed.
We're about
just everything is headed. I feel like everything is happening in His time. There's always like, oh, when are you gonna do that, like in your ear and everything. And when it is time, it is time. And I'm just very grateful for God's timing and His direction.
Thank you.